Hello and welcome again to this episode of this series on SYNLAB podcast, where we've been talking about mental health, going beyond the everyday smile, the everyday facade that we put up. My name is Patsy Mokungah, and I'm still your host. I've had here with me our guests, very amazing guests. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you, Ma, for being here with us throughout this journey on mental wellness. We've learned so much. This has been such a packed series. And in this last episode, we've talked a lot about community, about, people, your friends, your family. And I think that's where we want to hone in right now. So what are the practical ways family and friends could help, in maybe somebody that is there and has a mental health challenge and is known? What ways can your family come in or your friends?
Okay. Well, it is of a truth that mental illness is challenging.
Yeah.
The management of mental illness can be challenging to anyone. Several times, our patient relation will complain they are tired. It is that tiring. However, I used to encourage my patient relation, friends, and family. If this person happened to be a senator, for me, as a therapist to see, it would be difficult. If he happened to be the governor or an important personality in the society, I may not have access. So you will have to see your brother, your sister, your friend, your uncle, your auntie in that position. That now the individual is having this challenge. Let me stay with him or her the way I would have glued myself to him if he happened to be an important personality. And if we have that mindset, to be easier for us to go all the way. And mind you, having mental challenge is not the end of an individual. We have a lot of them, they come for treatment, they are bouncing back, and they go back to function and they are functioning well. They come back to even be a helping hand to those family members, to those friends who were once there for them. So until we see a need to support that our friend, that our brother, that our uncle, the way he or she will have been in support of us if we are the one. Sure. And don't forget, it could happen to anybody. Will you like to be abandoned if you're the one? Will you like to be given the full support? And if you have those, on our head, it will be easier for us.
Well, maybe I should come from this other angle. Mental illness is a form of illness. Why not seek treatment on time? Why not encourage the patient to use medication? If there are complaints, why not go back to the physician to complain? These are basic things. And I tell people, you should function. Don't tell me I'm still getting well, I'm recuperating. Yeah, it's a long-term thing. Then you function. These are ways that to let people know that, look, it's not the end of the world. And relatives should know it's an illness. It's just an illness, and patients function. I tell people that a measure of success is not that professor. It's not a measure of success is, are you able to produce? Are you able to cope with the normal stress of life? Are you able to function to the level, to your maximum? And my capacity to the best of my potential. My potential is different from yours.
Sure.
So once you understand that, you appreciate what everybody is doing. I have the capacity to be a medical doctor, an addiction psychiatrist. That means becoming a psychiatrist and being an addiction. Some people don't have that capacity, but that doesn't make them less than I do.
Just like I'm a nurse and I'm coping, I'm functioning.
So it doesn't
Do you
mean
understand?
So we should be able to appreciate people at their level, at the potential in which they can function, and we should give people full support. Those myths that spiritual is this, we should just get it off our heads, and just know this person is sick, and you render help.
Okay. We've spoken about, also the workspace.
Yeah.
How can employers, leaders, there's this drive now. If you are one of these people that listens to motivational speakers, go all the time. How can workspaces, what can they do to foster this mental wellness discussion, make it a better environment for their employees?
Well, let me say this. The first thing I keep saying, stress of life, being able to function to your potential. So if somebody comes around and says, I want to go to the hospital, there shouldn't be any stigma around it. People should be allowed to go for treatment and come back to work. People should be given work to their capacity. Because by the time you give them that high target and they're not able to function, you would cause more, you would actually affect their mental health. So workspaces, and I would probably think there should be policies about you employing, the same way there's a disability act that you must employ people that have disabilities in your organization. Yeah. There should be policies that are on that too. Well, mental is a form of mental disability anyway. So these are things that should just be an open thing, and people would even be free to express themselves, to seek help as early as possible, and discuss what they are going through with people. And funnily, sometimes those talk therapies would be of help, that you don't even have to use medication to an extent. So offices should just know that, look, just the same way the diabetic would inject himself in the hospital, right at work, somebody that has mental illness should be able to take his medication or her medication.
Without having to hide it.
Without having to hide it, yeah.
And also, the organizations can bring in awareness seminars for their staffs.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not even aware of what signs to look out for, what symptoms to look out for. I give kudos to an insurance organization a few years ago during their annual retreats.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is not about, we package food stuff for our staff, we did this for them. They organized, these retreats outside Lagos. And I was invited. Do you know that one of them was able to recognize her colleague who was actually manifesting signs of depression? And she was able to, to rescue him at that time. And the next person contacted was myself. Please, we have this colleague. You said something when you came to speak to us. It's like. And I was like, okay, bring him to the hospital. And they were able to rescue the situation. And the guy got back to work. So it is very, very important for organizations to organize seminars for their staffs. It goes a long way.
I like what you said about people, because I think that there's that situation where you might not even know that something is wrong. Something is going on.
Yes.
But because maybe somebody has not defined
exactly
the problem to you. Because I've had those situations in life where I've been through something, but until somebody came and put a name and explanation to it, and the light bulb just goes up in my head like, oh, so this thing has an identification,
yes.
And it can be handled. So we can see that apparently workspaces and employers can do better.
They can do.
I keep hearing, I think an emphasis that has recurred in this conversation is the fact that this needs to become a frontline conversation.
Yeah,
exactly. We need to talk more
about it.
Because I think it's even sometimes if you see somebody who is confident about their mental health journey, it's almost an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like somebody that can say, I've had mental health issues before.
We
People
don't
want
even
to
hear it on this.
I'm trying to even think about like anybody that comes to my mind that's like that has owned that. No, you don't see it. You don't see it. So one that's let's wrap up. What would you say to our listeners about, this issue of creating more open spaces, more supportive conversations about wellness in their communities?
Well, let me start by saying that wellness is about our mental state. Wellness is about our interpretation of situations around us. Wellness is about our contentment of situation around us. Wellness is about how well you sleep. Wellness is about the things you put into your mouth, into your system. Wellness is about how much you want to take care of yourself. And it's extremely important so that you can be at your full potential and be able to affect the community to your full potential. That's what I'll call wellness.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would say it's likened to a normal day-to-day belief in self. How intentional am I about my mental well-being? A lot of us are not mindful of our mental wellness. We just live as if that mind is programmed, automatic. We don't think of, I need to sleep well, I need to feed well, I need to exercise, I need to talk to someone, I need to relax my mind, I need to meditate positively, until we come to that term with ourselves that I need to be intentional. And to be intentional about your mental wellness, you have to imbibe those positive habits.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
This has been very, 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 very mind-opening. We've heard so many recurring things, positive thinking, positive approach towards life, the emphasis on community, communal living, helping each other, the fact that we need to have more open conversations, about mental wellness, the fact that you should judge people less, help them, listen to people. It's been so much. I'm sure that this is even a series that our audience should listen to more than once. It's not a one-time thing, and come back to it. You can go forward and initiate these conversations in your spaces, help people, make them more comfortable, with this topic of wellness. Dr. Olajumoke Koyejo and Mrs. Morenikeji Olaniyi-Agboola, thank you very much. Here on SYNLAB podcast, we have a tradition of, having our guests sign off. We want you to leave your signature with us, and so that we can tell the world that you were once on our podcast. So I would like you to sign our, Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much.
Just as we sign out, we'll have you forever in our hearts. Although we have the video, but now we can have this anywhere.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ma. This has been wonderful. It's been amazing. It's been our honor, our pleasure to have you here. We hope that this is not the last of you we'll have at SYNLAB in one capacity or another. With that, we will be bringing this series to a close. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on this series of SYNLAB podcast. It has been educational, interesting. I've had so much fun being here and discussing this wonderful topic. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to to leave a comment, start a discussion, share this to everybody. We established that it's not just for people with this illness. Share it to everybody. and subscribe, because we'll be coming back at you again and again with much more health related content. I'll see you next time.